The WTTC, that's the private body representing the tourist industry, has been writing to government ministers in Europe asking for a coordinated response. Gloria Guevara is with me, the president and CEO of the WTTC. She joins me now from Crete. Hopefully, Gloria, you are trying to have a bit of a holiday during all of this. But as we have covered all week, it's just about impossible, even for those countries that are doing half well, to have anything like normality.
That's absolutely right, Richard. Thank you for having me, and greetings from Greece. Unfortunately, this is a disaster. The lack of coordination among governments is pretty sad, and we're heading in the worst case scenario. It's totally unprecedented. They're working in silos. We don't have a coordinating approach. That's why 120 of our CEOs from around the world with WTTC, we wrote to the G7 plus Spain, Australia, and South Korea, begging them, asking them to coordinate, because it's unbelievable what we're seeing. The lack of coordination is impacting our sector already. 121 million jobs have been affected, as you know, and we're heading to the worst scenario, which is 197 by the end of the year, if they don't work together, if they don't coordinate.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean by coordinate, because each country has its own coronavirus situation where they are going to stop and start, allow and disallow travellers to and from those countries in a worse position.
Let me give you 4 examples, Richard, with this lack of coordination. I understand that every country has the right to make their own decisions, but with power also comes responsibility, right? And we need to have consistency. Travel is not just within the country, it's international. As you know, it's the backbone for trade. For instance, wearing a mask, we need consistency. Wearing a mask in all forms of transportation, depending on the country, they impose whatever they think is the best. Why they don't work together and define the same protocols? Second is testing. We need massive investments in testing. Testing that is PCR accuracy, 90%, that is fast, that is cheap, that you can get the results within less than 90 minutes, and you can do testing before departure. If they can talk and coordinate and have standards in testing, and we can apply massive testing before, for instance, international departures, then you have the guarantee that everyone in your flight is tested negative, and then have the quarantine, only the positives. Look at what's going on right now in France and in all these countries. It's unbelievable that we are heading in that direction. And I understand the decision from the UK, don't take me wrong, but why there is no coordination? Why they don't talk to each other? Why they don't define the policies as we have done in some crises in the past, like the 2008 financial crisis, right?
It's a bit different, I think, because the number of people who are actually involved at the grassroots in terms of having to do something. During the great financial crisis, ordinary people really couldn't do much other than suffer. But here there is masks issues, there's quarantine issues, there's all these sort of things. Now, Gloria, you're not going to get that coordination you seek. I can't see it happening. I can't see how it does happen. So now, warn, please, what's the consequences of going forward of this poor summer season?
Well, summer pretty much is lost. It's gone, as you say. It's the most important season and the largest region of the world in tourism, which is Europe. Because of this lack of coordination, the summer, unfortunately, is not going to recover. Now we're heading to the worst case scenario, which is by the end of the year, 197 million people will be impacted somehow. More jobs are going to be lost, more companies are going to be affected. And it's going to be very painful, the recovery, because everything is connected. Now, I believe that 10 leaders, we only need 10 leaders to coordinate. I don't know if that's too much to ask, Richard, because in reality, who's in charge of helping us out of this crisis? Who can really take the leadership and help us? Now, we have received some positive responses from some of these leaders, I have to say, that I'll be sharing with you hopefully soon, because we also wrote to the opposition of these leaders, and also some very interesting responses we have received. So I think that they care, but they need to have a summit and coordinate and help us to get out of this, because the private sector cannot do it alone, of course.
Gloria, if you are on holiday in Crete, and I hope you are, do try and have some sort of a rest, at least rest and relax. Thank you.